Hello, this is my final reflection on IDT standard and technology integration. My name is Leanne Smith. The first IDT standard is creativity and innovation. I have three examples, my first example being a web quest. What I did was I used existing knowledge and applied it to create a web quest research-based activity that allows for students to work individually or in groups. The second item I created was an instructional comic. What I did was created a comic that recreated a scene from history, which would act as a way for students to improve reading comprehension with images and grasp concepts better, especially for visual learners. The third item I created was a graphic organizer. I created a graphic organizer on America in the 1850s. Graphic organizers comes in handy when introducing complex systems and issues. It comes in handy because it allows the use of images, different fonts, colors, and information all in one place that a concept becomes much clearer to students. This is IDT standard number 2, communication and collaboration. Here you see a list of interactive learning activities, and this was based off Substandard A, which says to interact, collaborate, and publish with peers, experts, or others employing a variety of digital environments and media. What I did was I compiled a list of interactive learning activities from a host of websites that allow students to learn through their participation in making use of their digital environment or media. The second thing I did was create an interactive whiteboard activity, which was based off Substandard B. Substandard B says that students should communicate information and ideas effectively to multiple audiences using a variety of media and formats. I created an interactive whiteboard activity that students could work collaboratively or individually using a PowerPoint presentation. Students were given clear directions on what to do and how the information would be used to complete the assignment. So what students were to do were to fill in the missing blanks, fill in the missing letter from the letter bank to make a complete word. This is IDT Standard 3, Research and Information Fluency. I have three examples. My first example is a Prezi. This was based off Substandard A, which says Plan Strategies to Guide Inquiry. I created a Prezi, an inquiry-based Prezi, that started by asking the question, what is Dropbox? In order to get students actively involved by developing questions in their head and in hopes of finding the answer at the end. My second example is a PowerPoint presentation I created based on students locating the 50 states within the United States of America. So here you see the PowerPoint presentation, Alabama and Alaska state plus 48, and it was based off Substandard B, which says locate, organize, analyze, evaluate, synthesize, and ethically use information for a variety of sources and media. Students were to locate information from hyperlinks within the presentation and use that information to evaluate the multiple choice questions at the end of the lesson. And they were to choose the answer with 100% accuracy. Here's my third example of a fast food spreadsheet data that was based on Substandard D, which says students should know how to process data and report results. I collected nutritional data from fast food chains in order to produce information on what restaurants had the most nutritious meals. Processing data becomes important because it allows one to collect and manipulate items of data to produce meaningful information, and in this case it allows students to see what foods they're putting in their body and what kinds of effects it can have on one's body. So they were able to see that the food places that they are going to on a regular is having an a bad outcome on, on themselves. So I figured that was great for students to be able to see the information. This is IDT Standard 4, Critical Thinking, Problem Solving, and Decision Making. Under this standard, I had two examples. My first example being the final lesson plan, which was based off Substandard A, which says that students should be able to identify and define authentic problems and significant questions for investigation. What I had students to do in this assignment was to review the text King with a Dream and identify the major issues during the civil rights movement. The students were to answer a series of questions on the text, and they were given a worksheet prior to reading the text, so they were able to familiarize themselves with what they'll be reading, what they'll be reading, and the key concepts that they should keep in mind or be mindful of. My second example was based on Substandard B, and again we're going to use the final lesson plan. Substandard B says students should be able to plan and manage activities to develop a solution or complete a project. Students also were to complete a project by choosing images from the web that were based off the text, and they were to complete a comic using Toondoot and turn it in towards the end of class. The final standard we're going to talk about is IDT Standard 5, which is Digital Citizenship. I chose a discussion question that was introduced to the class from Dr. Knowles at the beginning of the semester, which said, what is technology integration? And this was based off Substandard A, advocate and practice safe, legal, and responsible use of information and technology. So basically we were to know, what is the integration of technology? Integrating the use of technology was based on resources such as using phones, computers, cameras, tablets, anything of that sort into the classroom that will be of purpose to the student, that they are able to, to learn from that information. We were required to know, rules that each teacher should go by in the classroom, which is knowing what is on and off limits when integrating technology within the classroom, and how technology can become effective in the classroom by using certain protocols and things of that nature. The second example I'm going to use is the discussion question, where we had to comment on different classmates' work in the classroom, and this is based off Substandard D, which says exhibit leadership for digital citizenship. I exhibited leadership for digital citizenship by doing what was asked by my professor, which should essentially be common sense, by making direct references to other students' assignments, along with being respectful to others. And I was able to educate myself from learning and connecting with others' work. In other works, I was able to see, different ways of going about teaching certain material in the areas of math, science, social studies, English, language arts, all of that. And I was able to learn information as well.